Hello guys, and welcome to another map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at a map that's been out for about 4 months now, but it really hasn't seemed to have gotten a lot of visibility, and I wanted to do a map review on this and hopefully get it some more visibility. The map is called Newbie Farm, and those of you that have been around the farm sim community for a while have probably seen this map on at least Farm Sim 15 and possibly even further back than that. So I found this map over on fsuk.com, and there will be a link to the map in the description. Let me go ahead and read you a little bit about the map that's basically up over at fsuk.com. It says, "Welcome to Newbie Farm. Over the years, this map has been described as one of the hardest maps to play, and in trying to keep with that, I present the new version, which in all fairness is almost a revamp due to the amount of changes which has changed the look of the map a lot. So in keeping with the idea behind the game difficulty, which is based around hard difficulty, you will find all of the forestry areas have now been moved into the mountains." He goes on to say that cows, chickens, sheep, and pigs are all present around the farm. There's a mixture of sell points for those that like supply and demand. And the silos can hold nearly everything and have a capacity of 500,000 liters due to silo extensions not working on dedicated servers. He also goes on to state that missions have been disabled. And you will see when we jump into this map, you start with no fields. So let's go ahead and jump on in. So we're going to pick our John Deere Gator there. We're going to pull up the log. And you'll see that the map loads very quickly. And there's very little starting equipment. So here we are. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map. So you see the map has 24 fields, it appears. And none of them are owned by you. There are some grass fields, field 4 and 21 specifically, and none of them are owned by you, so you're going to have to work pretty hard from the first get-go to earn some money to buy some fields just to get going with some steady income. As you can see, this map has the standard crop types. On hard mode, you start with 0 crops in your silos. And it may be that also the prices have been lowered a bit as far as the crops go. I know that at least for wood chips, this seems to be a fairly low price for wood chips, and the wool price is way lower than you typically see. So all of our equipment is fairly old. Some pieces have a fair number of hours on them, so these are going to be costing you a pretty penny from the first day. Let's go ahead and take out a loan so we can buy some animals. Okay. We start with 0 animals, 0 things in the crop, in the feed troughs. Here's our silo capacity of 500,000 liters. Given this intention on difficulty, I highly doubt that there are gold nuggets on the map. So let's take a look at the starting equipment. So we get 2 Fintor tractors, 117 and 127 horsepower. This one has 43.9 hours on it. This one has 26.4 hours on it. We have the Case IH 1660 harvester with 38 hours. We have the grain header with 38 hours. We have a little old Metaltech tipper with 33 hours. Here we have a cultivator that's fairly new. It only has 12 hours on it. And the newest bit of equipment that we have is a sewing machine. Is the little sower that only has 10 little old hours on it. So as you can see, all of our starting equipment is fairly been used, yet we don't have any fields, so we must have just bought this this farm from somebody, and they were in some pretty financial troubles and must have sold off all their fields. So let's see where the reset point is. So the reset point is fairly close to our starting position. It looks to be basically on the main farm. This is the main farm area up here. So let's go ahead and explore the main farm area. This is where we start, right outside of our house here. And I hear the chickens, so let's see where the chickens are at. All right, the chickens are down there. So let's take a look around. Looks like we go down the hill here. We pass our chickens. And then here is the main farmyard. Looks like. Oh, what do we have here? This appears to be the cattle area. So let's see if we can find out where we buy our cows or deliver our cattle. Alright, that gate does not have a collision on it. Let's run over here. See where we get our animal dialogue at. I haven't seen it yet. Here we go. So this is where we will buy our animals. Alright, so we've got our cows in here. So it looks like we've got a fairly large cow pasture. So the map is set up pretty good to support a fair number of cows from the get-go. Not really sure where that goes, so we won't go there yet. So here we have a silage bunker for our cattle area. And let's get back up here. You can kind of look out over the initial set of land. Here we got some trees up here. All the trees up here along the mountainous area. So I'm not really sure what this is. It looks like a ramp. But what doesn't really make much sense to me is these bars here and why this ramp would be so close to the building, unless you're supposed to like back up a tipper in here and you're supposed to like bring a front loader up here, and this is designed to keep the front loader from going off the edge, I guess. This center lip is just what's confusing me a little bit, but any rate. So here we have our cow shed. We have our long silage trough here, our power food trough. We have our manure and slurry pit there. There's our gator. So we have a fuel point. This is our silo system. Silo in and our silo out is right there. Okay. And then back here I saw the water trough right there, and the grass trough is over here. Okay. So let's see. It looks like our sheep area is over here. So let's see if we can get to that. Here we have fill points for seed and fertilizer are over there. Looks like this is just a old rundown storage barn, storage shed. Looks like you could do repair work in there. So here we have some machine storage. Okay, the door doesn't work. And over here we have additional equipment storage. And there is our reset point. So let's see here. I think we need to come around here and go up here. And this is our sheep area. So we have our water trough here and our grass trough there. Here's where our wool spawns. And this is probably where we buy our sheep. Alright, so there's our sheep. That's a fairly nice sheep area too, sheep pen. I kind of wish there was a little bit more coverage for the sheep so that they're not out in the sun all day long. They do kind of have this cliff here that they could kind of go up against depending on the time of day. They could probably get some shade off of that. And up here we have our pig area. So all of the animals are kind of in a they're all really in their own area, but they're all still fairly close. So here we have our manure pit and our liquid slurry. And here's where we're going to buy our pigs. Alright, so there we have our piggies. And we have a fairly large pig pen also. So we have food and water troughs. Does this gate go through? Yep, we can walk through that. Trying to figure out where we might blow our straw. I guess we would probably blow it over here. This would be our straw point. Yes, so that is the animal areas. So we're just going to take a little field trip, see if we can climb this hill. Alright, so we got a nice overlook of the area here. See what we can see. There's our sheep. This should get us a nice good picture of the farm. So our cow area is over there. So our sheep area, and here's some fields immediately around the area. This is a very nice attractive map as far as just, you know, visuals. I like how you can get way up here, up high, and just kind of overlook the land. So that's a fairly big circular-ish. No, it looks kind of square, but it looks a little circular up here, but on the map it looks square. So as you can see, most of the trees are elevated and up off of the main farming plateau. Alright, let's get down to our gator and get on with looking around the map. So I'm going to walk around here a bit. There's a road that kind of goes in behind here. This is obviously the edge of the map. We don't want to go off that. So here's a nice area where we could get some logging done. It just seems to run around the outside of the map. Alright. That's enough on foot. Here we back around to our cow area. So look at that. That's just really nice. Look at all that. That's a huge pen for the cattle. Excellent. Excellent. All these trees. Alright, off we go. Did a little cliff jumping there. Do a little leap cow. And we'll get in our gator. There's our little tipper right there. Alright, so let's take a look. As you can see, there's several little fields right in front of us. We're going to go ahead and go down there and check out general field prices. We know that missions are disabled, so we'll just take a look at that anyway. So here we have 0.35 hectares at $28,000. 2.28 hectares, 2.8, $228,000. 0.69, $5,000. That's a steal right there, buddy. I'm going to buy that field. All right, we now own a field. Let's check this one out. 0.33 hectares, $26,000. We are now a proud owner of field number 7. Excellent. All right, so let's go clockwise around the map. So let's try to make our way over here to the lumberyard. Let's try this way. See if that gets us anywhere. There was a nice field here on kind of up on a little hillside, so everything is not completely flat. But it could be a bit of a challenge trying to figure out how to do some forestry on some of these trees that are up here on these cliffs. I guess you could saw the trees, and with the intention that they would fall off the cliff onto this area here to do the logging. But looks like you're going to be doing some just logging here for a while until you can afford to buy up some fields. You'll probably be wanting to sell the starting equipment simply because you're not going to have any fields to own to sell those. So here we have Southern Pacific train. Okay. So let's see, that information thing didn't give us anything, but let's see if we have a working crane here. We do. Alright, so we do have a working crane. And now this is a sell point where we could send off our logs. So the way this works is you dump your logs. Let's look for the hitbox. You dump your logs right here, it looks like. Looks like it's a fairly narrow area that you need to put your logs into. Or is that... no, that's my gator. Get rid of that. Alright, so here is the tip point. Oh, that's pretty interesting. So I guess you need to put your logs over here, and that's what sells them. Now, I do not know if that train is supposed to look like that, or if it's a byproduct of something I had done for some other maps I play on. I had gone in and changed the train texture, but I changed it to Union Pacific. So that train is not what I was expecting to see. So maybe that is a map specific thing, but I don't know. So you may have a different train if you load up this map, just so you're aware. So here we just got some sawmill structures. I don't think this stuff does anything. Looks like the only trigger there is for the crane. I'm really not seeing anywhere else. This box here in front is for the gator. So I think the only way for you to sell your logs is to use the crane. That is indeed going to be a real booger of a deal if you don't like cranes. Because like I said, I'm not seeing anything here. Oh, our train's back. Okay, so there they are. The hits are, I think, right there on the train cars. So you just you move the logs and drop them on the train cars, I guess, and then you send the crane off to sell your lumber. So that's the lumberyard. Let's make our way down to the mill and barn now. So I have to say the way to get to this sawmill or lumberyard is very attractive. I like how the trees are lining the way. Whoa, that's a rough road. So field 15. This is that field we were looking out over, I think. No, we were looking out over field 12 earlier. I just want to see how big this field is. Looks like field 20 is our largest field. So field 15 is 3.38 hectares in size. So the map author said, and I don't remember if I read it or not, but he had said that the hedges around the field do not have collisions, but the hedges around the farm do. You see the logs up there, the trees up there on the hills. Alright, so we've got a fence here lining a river. Here we have a mill building. It doesn't have any function other than just being aesthetic, but it's, you see we've got the water paddle spinning there. So there's obviously no traffic on this map. And I suspect all the roads will be dirt roads. Alright, so we're coming up on the mill and the barn. Okay. Whoa, this is pretty much of a hill to get up. Alright, so this is our hay, straw, and grass sell point. Looks like it's this whole inside of this building here, so you'll have to back in here to do your bale sales. And the mill here, you just come up here and tip in the mill. So the mill takes all of our standard crops. Okay. And then that road looks like it continues on possibly to the port. We're just going to have to take that over to the port now. Once we drive through the mill tip point, I like to try to drive through these tip points to make sure I don't run into the tip box. So that looks like that might be the mill over there, or the port. Oh, this is a bridge. over. That's very interesting. Let's take a look at that. We have a dry riverbed, I assume. That's pretty nice. I like that. We've got a what appears to be like a dry riverbed here. Here would be a road crossing over a shallow point. It's been quite a while, it looks like, since this has had some water in it, because we've got some grass growing and some trees kind of growing down in there. And this just flows down here to a waterfall area. Very, very nice. So there would be a waterfall there into the water pool. And then that kind of leads us down here to the shore. Excellent. And this road runs along. That's very, very nice. Alright, let's get back to our gator. Let's see if this takes us up to the port. I somehow don't think that is going to get us to the port. But there is the port, but this road does not appear to be the road for the port. This is pretty bumpy here. Alright, so we're going to have to find ourselves another way down to the port. That road seems to just end. This road seems to double back. So let me know, have you all ever played this Newbie Farm map on FS15 or maybe some other version of Farm Sim? If you have, I'd like to know how this iteration of Newbie Farm compares to other iterations. If you played Newbie Farm, did you find it difficult? Was it a challenge? Was it enjoyable? Do you think you would consider playing this particular rendition of Newbie Farm? Here we go. This looks a lot better of a way to get to the port. Alright, so here we have our tip point for the port. We have a nice large storage building here to store any machinery or anything that we would want for the port area. And the rest of this area is just, I think, deco to support the fact that this is a seaport. There's no other collision boxes or tip boxes. In fact, I just ran into something. Oh, that's the edge of the map. Look at that. The so this building is placed right here on the edge, and you know, this is really done well. That's the edge of the map right there, and you know, you don't really realize that the edge of the map is there. Like I said, I was trying to drive out there to the edge, and there isn't. There isn't an edge. So I like how the map just keeps on going, and it really fools your eye. Gives you a sense that the map is significantly larger than it really is. Alright, let's make our way. Let's see where else we're going. We're going to go down over to the BGA now. Nice wide wooden bridge here. Let's see if we can figure out how to get to the BGA area. Just follow along this road, I suppose. So that's field 17. Alright, we'll come back to that. So the BGA appears to be up on this hillside on the left. We'll have to see if we can find a road that kind of leads off that way. Here we go. Let's take this road and see where it takes us. Okay, we should have went the other way. But let's just see if maybe this road circles down. I don't think it does. Seems to run along this ridge line. And then it just seems to wind us further up. But it might bring us back down. Let's just take a ride. See where it takes us. It's kind of a fun map to just drive around. And it ends right here. So let's see here. We're just gonna go. There we go. I wouldn't suggest doing that in real life, but hey, farm sim physics works out well for us sometimes. So here we have our BGA. We should have took that low road. We have our fairly standard looking farm sim BGA with our silo king or silage bunkers there, our digestate storage. So is this how do we get in here? That's the question. Okay, here we do. We come in here, and then we would make a hard left to get up to the weigh scale. Oh, we've got a nice lighthouse over there. Yep, see, this is the low road we should have took. Alright, let's go over here and check this out. This is the brewery. So it's a nice nice structure for the Lost Horseshoe Inn. So here we tip into our sell point for the brewery. And then we have a nice lighthouse up here. I don't think I've seen a lighthouse. Well, yeah, there's lighthouses. There's a lighthouse on Sandy Bay. You don't see too many lighthouses in Farm Sim anymore. This is just a static structure. It'd be awesome if we could climb up. Whoa. Almost fell off the map. It'd be cool if we could climb all the way up to the top and get a nice nice overlook. Oh my gosh, we gotta get out of here. I'm gonna fall off the map. Alright. So let's take a look. We wanna come around and get to the spinnery. Then we're going to go up here to the freight yard, the farm shop, and then we'll probably circle back around to the animal dealer and bakery, and then end up there at the garden center. So let's do that. So the field off to our right here, we're just going to jump through the hedge. So that's field 20. That's the biggest field on the map. As we get around to the next sell point, we'll be close to the buy point for that, and we'll see what that says as far as field size goes. There's an access road up into the hills for more logging. Alright, so here comes the see the icon to buy the to buy field 20. So let's see what this thing reports. $13.5 hectares, $1 million. That's not too bad of a price for that size of a field. Alright, so we gotta figure out how to get to the freight yard, which is up there. I think there might be a road coming up. Let's see. If not, we'll need to double back. Alright, I think we're going to double back. And see if we can make our way up into the freight yard. So our freight yard must have been this little road that we saw going up. Alrighty. Yep, this appears to be the freight yard access. So this tip point is a rather interesting sell point. You would bring your trailer up here. You make a wide turn up this ramp. And you'll notice there's no tip point here, but what's expected is you're expected to tip into these train cars. So let's take a look at the box here. So you see the tip box is right here, and it looks like it's designed for you to tip into these train cars. So I don't know if there's a lever to send the train off or not. Let's take a look. Alright, this is just I think this is just a static train. I don't see any way of sending the train anywhere. So I thought that was pretty interesting, where it's designed for you to tip into the train car. Alright, so let's find our way back out of the freight yard. Alright, and we're going to make our way around to the farm shop. There's a fuel point at the farm shop. So there's only 2 fuel points on the map, but the farm shop and at your main farm. So we're coming up on field 21, which is the grass field. One of the 2 grass fields. Now that is wrong. That is wrong. That is a lot more than it is. We're going to buy that one too. Alright, so we found 2 really great deals on fields so far. So it seems that if you shop around, you might find some really good deals on fields to kind of get you started. I don't know if that's planned or if that's just pure accident that the field definitions are wrong on the sizes, or if maybe that's a little nod to the observer, to the observing player, to discover those little Easter egg type things, if you will. So here's the tip point for the farm shop. Here's our fuel. Looks like we have fill points for liquid and solid fertilizer back here. We can sell our eggs, and this looks like a seed point, but when I oh, there is a box there. I had forgotten. I checked this out earlier, and I thought that there wasn't a box there, but there is. So you also have feed or seed fill point. A little bit of a residential area back in there. So let's check out field 23. So that's 4.75, 384,000. Alright, so here is our farm shop. This is where we will buy our get our sell point for our vehicles, customization point. Alrighty, let's see. We need to... Oops, sorry about that, everybody. Hope that didn't get too many people concerned. We need to double back and take this road, which kind of winds around, and we'll get to the bakery and the animal buy point. And now I'm curious. I want to check out the field prices on as many fields as I can find. See if I can find some more deals. $260,000. All right. So I think this is just a 1x map. I don't think it doesn't feel like a 4x map to me. But the way these roads meander around, it's deceivingly bigger. Feels bigger than it really is. Basically because of how everything just meanders around. This map really takes advantage... No, this way. This map really takes advantage of elevation. So you could have two things that are really close to each other, but for you to get to them, you really have to drive a fairly decent distance. Alright, so here's the bakery tip point. You can see some of these structures are from the Sosnoska map, I think. Now we're making our way down the incline. So I was saying this map makes really good use of varying height in the terrain, so that you might have a sell point, two sell points right beside each other, but there's such different variation in elevation that you really have to drive a decent distance just to get to the two sell points from each other, based on how the elevations are. So this is where you would buy your animals if you wanted to pick them up and deliver them to your farm. There's also some nice structures here that if you wanted to farm some of these fields, you could stash your equipment in. Alright, so now we're going to swing back up the way we came and make our way up to the garden center. So this will only take a few minutes. While we're waiting, we'll just kind of look around the map as we drive. We are kind of in a valley. We got a road going off down into down there, climbing up a hill, get to a little higher elevation. Here we go. These are nice hill. These are nice little roads just to drive around. Varying elevation. You know, the roads kind of tilt or have, you know, a little bit of a lean to them. Sometimes they lead into the turn like this, and like this, where, you know, you kind of oh, I don't recall the term, but basically when the, you know, when you turn and basically the inside of the turn is lower than the outside of the turn. I guess it's not really camber. I guess it is camber. Maybe. So let's see here. We gotta get across the river. Is there a tree? There's a bridge. Is that a bridge? Is that not a bridge? That's not a bridge. Alright, so somehow we gotta figure out how to get across the river. So we'll just, looks like there's a river crossing up here. We'll just go this way. Here's a river crossing, and then we'll make our way, whoa, up here. That's our farm, by the way. Field 5, let's check that field out. .89, $72,000. So it looks like it's about $80,000 a hectare. $85,000 a hectare, maybe. Here's field 4. That's the other grass field. .18, $14,000. But it is much smaller. Maybe it's not really much smaller than field 21, but it kind of swings around the whole side of this this little water. Alright. Field 5 kind of goes up, the road kind of goes down. We got these nice trees that line everything. It's really a nice map. It's definitely not hard on the eyes to look at. It's almost like a map you would just load up just to drive around in. If there was ever a map for a Sunday drive, this would be it, I think. Field 1 is 2.4, $200,000. And of course, our sell point is up the hill. Well, let's just turn around and figure out how to get up there. So that might be another thing that makes this map hard, is getting lost and having to double back. So this looks like our turn off. Yep, this is indeed our way to get to the last sell point, the garden center. So we have another one of these bridges. our big ramps. There we got our grate to tip into. And looks like this location also buys or sells. I guess it buys, not sells. Let's see where we're at. We're at the garden center here. They also buy manure. They take wood chips and grass and hay, not straw. They take grass and hay and wood chips. So this is our wood chip. I'm sure we got a tip box here. I'm not seeing it. That's manure. That's not wood chips. Oh, it's over here. That's seed. What is this? Is this... That's obviously grass. Is that supposed to be silage? Maybe you just tip it in there. Because I'm not seeing anywhere else to put it. Yeah, you must sell your grass and hay bulk right here. I don't know if there's a bale destroyer there to take the bales or not, but there you go, guys. That is Newbie Farm, and I would say that it's a play on words. It is by no way means a map for a newbie player. It is intended for a player that knows what they're doing, knows how to start the game with limited funds and with limited resources, because you start with no fields. You start with old equipment that has fairly high maintenance fees to it, and you're basically going to be not doing missions. There are no missions, so you can't farm yourself out to the area farmers to do any tasks. So you're going to be let's up here. Let's check out field 2. Oh, that's a field. That's a doozy. To get up into this field. There's field 3. Basically, you're not going to be doing missions to earn money. You're going to have to earn it the hard way, which is lumber. Or you're going to have to take out a loan and kind of start with 1 or 2 fields. I suppose if you were really careful and kind of checked the price of all the fields, there may be a couple more fields out there that are way low in price for their size, and you may be able to get some bargains there to kind of get started. Alright, 1.212, and it's $90,000. So there you go, guys. Newbie Farm. If you like this video and you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and click the subscribe button for map first impression videos every Tuesday and Thursday. And I also do a play series on Cherry Hills. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. And now we're back to the farm. And I do a play series on Serenity Valley on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Please check out some of the guys in my description. They all are YouTube guys, and they all have different ways of doing their farming. So it's oftentimes fun to watch other people, watch how other people play, and get you some ideas maybe on some things that you haven't previously thought about doing. Also check out the PCSG community. There's a link to that in my description. They are a really great group of guys and gals, and they're into farm sim, truck sim, train sim, and flight sim. So if you're into any of that sim stuff, including farm sim, check them out. They're really helpful and great group of guys. And then also check out the 3 Dudes Gaming Network if you can. I am a 3 Dude Gaming Network media member. And what that means is basically I've got a media zone there where I can post I post videos, and I try to post exclusive early access videos to that forum at least once a week. So if you're into, if you like my videos, that's one way of kind of getting your fix early. So until next time, guys, happy farming.